Okay, so Twin Flame Love Story, Part 1. Okay, so like I said in the first video, uh, what exactly happened? So, I'm minding my own world, living in Victoria. I'm about to move to Edmonton because I've had a dream where my grandmother, who I never met, came through and after I asked God, why is my life failing, she came through and she's like, you soon will be, or rather, I think you soon will be moving back to Edmonton, at which point my entire body was encased in this blue light that, like, it was the only thing I can say it was like. It was a cocoon. So, anyways, I'd never felt so much peace in my life. I'd never felt so much calm and centeredness, and it was an amazing, amazing feeling being in this womb. And so I was like, well, I guess I'm moving to Edmonton. And right after I moved into my client's house, because I was watching after a very awesome gentleman who ended up a quadriplegic, or paraplegic rather. Anyways, long story short, I ended up getting this message from a friend who said, you two need to talk and you guys should be friends. And so we did the Facebook thing. And like I said in the last video, I started looking through his photos, and the first thing I got was, he's not dealing with sexuality. And then it was funny because there's this one photo of him, and he's laying out in the sunshine, and I thought to myself, wouldn't it be nice to be wrapped up in those arms? And then later, within a year, I was wrapped up in those arms. And anyway, so I got this information, and I thought, okay, whatever, no big deal. And then he told me his story, and I was like, okay, well, obviously the first message I got was wrong. And while we were talking, like I said, I fell in love with him, and I kept saying to him, I've got mad love for you, I got mad love for you. And so we kind of communicated for a few days, and like I said, he came over, and that's when the vision happened. That's when I knew he was my twin flame. That's when I kind of knew I wasn't crazy, right? Like, forgot about the vision, tried so many relationships, always looking for this right connection, and all of a sudden this right connection was in front of me, as in the body of a 23-year-old boy. And I showered him with affection, I showered him with gifts, I showered him with love, because that's what I do when I'm in love. I'm an old school romantic. I don't give a flying fuck, man. I will just give you love. And it's, for all the changes I've been through, for all the things I've gone through, that's the part of me that hasn't changed. That's the part of me who won't change, is the old romantic Pisces moon, right? So anyway, so he came over and spent the night, and not in that sort of way, but just, spent the night, and we did Reiki level 2, and things did show that, hindsight being what they were, I should have been more there for him at that moment. And anyway, so it speeded up. So I'm in Edmonton, we end up hanging out a few times, and things kind of get, intense and really intense. The twin flame vibe completely throws up. And, like, things just got intense, and that's when I got a hold of that's when Parananda came through and talked to me, and I just couldn't stop myself, all I wanted to do was talk to him. I wanted to get to know him. Fuck. Here's this person who, I am a very guarded individual. I'm very open, but there is some stuff that even the best people don't know about me. So, here's this person who just makes me want to just rip off my skin and bare my soul. And I'm like, who are you? Like, shit, this just doesn't happen. Like, I've been around people. I thought I was in love. This is the real thing. And like I said, like, all I want to do, rip my, bare my soul. And so here's this guy who's just like, holy fuck, he's trying to deal with it. And I recognize that pup. If you ever watch this, I recognize all the stuff he went through. And yet he wouldn't change, he wouldn't adapt, he wouldn't grow, because he was so afraid that he had to keep it under control. He had to control everything about it. So, and this comes down to the times he's cheated on his girlfriend, the times he, got physically violent with another girl, who ended up giving me the information to know that he has demons that he's fighting, because, up until that moment, I put him on this pedestal. And then all of a sudden he came off his pedestal. I'm like, Jesus, man, you got problems. And I dealt with it. And I was like, all right, you got problems, but I still love you. I don't know why, but I still love you. I shouldn't, but I still love you. And so at one point he said something to me, and I basically said, I hope you die, because I was so frustrated and so fed up with not knowing how I wanted to communicate to him, not knowing that he, you know, all I wanted was 15 minutes a week to talk to him. I don't, you know, I just needed to fix it, to make it 15 minutes. That's what I wanted. I later found out this summer that the whole reason why I was fixated on that was that the first time I was ever in love, I communicated with my partner every single day a lot, because I was 16 and my partner, you know, we had a lot of free time. So there was a lot of communication. So I projected that onto Pop. And what he couldn't handle was the fact that someone loved him unconditionally. He didn't have to control me. He didn't have to, there was nothing he had to do. And I was willing to give him the world. And like I said, I was willing to give him the you know, build a Reiki business with him, build something that would make us, you know, connected, and also end up being something greater, something that humanity could benefit from. I mean, you know, it would be awesome. So that's kind of the short story. Like I said, I bought him a Tissot watch. I you know, and I found out from the girl, this girl Michelle, that he was willing to, he was like, oh, do you want the watch? And I was like, you're giving away my watch. That's nice. And, you know, I just, if I could do it over again, I sure as hell would. And I wouldn't do it the right way. I wouldn't do it this way. I would have taken Parananda's advice. I would have, you know, shut my mouth. But that's a twin flame love. Like, that's love itself. Like, any poet worth his grain of salt says love is, it's chaos. And that's what love is. Love is chaos. But it's the most beautiful part of chaos in the world, because you want the chaos with someone. You want to make it work. And that's what I wanted with him. That's what I was hoping for, is that we could make it work. And of course, him being so sensitive that, you know, when I said, I hope you die, he just went, well, you know, fuck you. And I'm like, that's not what I meant. But I mean, I'm from New York. If I said, I hope you die, it's just because I'm so pissed off. Like, talk to me in an hour, you know. But people just don't get it, and they're so willing to throw everything away so fast. And I mean, I kept saying to him, go away, go away, go away. Because I was projecting my problems with what I had with my mom, where I never felt loved, I never felt wanted. So I was projecting that shit on him. So we just kept projecting back and forth. I mean, it's a true twin flame relationship between the psychic stuff, knowing he's the twin flame, and then all the ego shit on top of it. And like fuck, you know? But I still love him. I still love him. And that's the craziest shit of all. Someone because, you know, I'll tell you something, guys. Anyone else, I would have gone out and done what any hot-blooded male does. I would have fucked my way out of the emotion. And I know this doesn't really make a lot of sense for people looking for the spiritual Reiki, but this is spirituality, human condition, human experience. That is spirituality. Nothing else is human spirituality except experience. The entire life that we live is an experience, and that is spirit. Anyways, I would have had sex with 100 different people just to get it over with, just to break free. And no matter what happens, I'm always back on him, because that was the soul signature that I've been waiting for, and I know who he is. I know his soul. I have dreamt of him. He has dreamt of me. We've dreamt of each other. That's the soul signature. And that's how I know he's the twin flame, because I was told he's the twin flame, because I used the term twin flame before I even knew what twin flame was. And because of the dream, or not the dream, sorry, the vision from when I was 12. But you see, that was my twin flame experience. It was chaotic. It was crazy. And it was two people who were too scared to just say, you know what, I love you and let's make this work. And that's what it boiled down to. It was, you know, I'm scared. I'm afraid to say I'm afraid. And that's what it boiled down to. And that's what it came down to. And that's why it went south. And if you'll ever forgive me, Pop, I'll always be here to talk to you. But I'm moving on, because, you know, you can't sit around and hope for the past, right? I mean, I'm a spiritual person who's supposed to be living in the now. So I'm moving on. I mean, my door is always open, but I'm moving on because it's time. Because there's no point in, you know, if somebody doesn't want to be loved, someone who doesn't want to accept the fact that you've sent them, you know, how many cards, how many things to show you I love you. But you want to take moments of anger and just say, that's it, that's done, I'm rejecting you. That's not love, that's fear, that's ego. So it's all ego. And ego destroyed our relationship. Ego destroyed what we could have been. And ego will destroy a lot more twin flames, because twin flames have to grow, they have to change, they have to heal. But that's what I got out of this, was pure love and a pure healing. So, my friends, hello world. If you ever get lucky enough to meet your twin flame, take one lesson from it. Love. That's it. Let love be everything in that existence. Whether you love them, whether you hate them, whether the experience was good, bad, or indifferent, but let love be the thing you look through, you use as your filter, as your glasses. Because love is all that matters. And once you learn that love is all that matters from yourself, then you learn to mind, who cares about everyone else? Am I being positive? Am I helping? Am I loving? Just love. Because that's what your twin flame is here to teach you to do. I love you guys. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.